Hey everybody, Brendan here in front of the whiteboard. And in today's video, I want to talk about my own sort of creation, the 3 life phases or cycles that we have. And what prompted this is I've been having some calls with some clients and discussing this very exact topic with them. And they're like, is this yours? Like, did you just think about this? I'm like, no, I've been thinking about it for a while, but I figured I really need to make a video about this and how apropos, because it's the full moon. So this is kind of like my full moon affirmation. I've been thinking about it. I've been planting the seed. And today is the big reveal. So this is the full moon reveal. All about our 3 life cycles or 3 phases. And if you don't know who I am, my name is Brendan. I'm also known as the Gut Whisperer. And I help people fix their guts. Whether they want to lose weight or address their autoimmune issues, or they've got heartburn, or they've got GERD, or they've got skin issues, or they got depression. Any and all of those things, those symptoms, they're basically an expression of leaky gut to varying degrees. And so when I work with individuals, we go to the root cause, we go right at the beginning, and that's with digestion and the gut, and we fix that with my 6-week protocol. It is the gut rehabilitation protocol. Anyways, I'll talk about that at the end of the video. In this video, I'm going to be talking about, again, the 3 cycles. And again, what prompted this is me talking to some clients and really explaining to them how they really need to pay attention, because what they do in either of these cycles really determines the future they're going to have with regards to their health. So without any further ado, let's dive right into the program. So there's 3 phases. There's the punishment phase, there's the acceptance phase, and then there's the consequence phase. So what does that mean? What does it sound like? Well, let's dive into this. So the punishment phase, basically what that means is, on a health-related sort of spectrum, from birth to roughly around the mid-20s, that's when you can sort of punish your body. And I'll expand on that. What does it look like? What does it sound like? Well, essentially kids' food, chips, pops, cereal, ice cream, fast food, candy, late nights, early mornings, stress, partying, right? The college lifestyle, sex, drugs, alcohol, travel. The body is very adaptable, right? So we can, in our early years, we can essentially thrive with what little care we give it, right? We can wake up still sort of bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, even if we've had a big bender from whatever it was the night before. We can sort of use our genetics and our youthfulness to sort of compensate for the shitty, unhealthy lifestyle that we've been living, right? If you play sports, you can really get away with your athletic performance just based on your genes and your God-given natural ability, without sort of considering nutrition and lifestyle, right? So that's the punishment phase. Now, the second phase is the acceptance phase. And what does that look like? Well, I'll go over here. The acceptance phase is basically from your mid-20s to roughly around your 40s. Now, this is going to be different for everyone, but this is a general sort of concept, okay? So the body is now dealing with all of the punishment that you've given it. And what does that mean? So the body is just starting to express some of the punishment phases. It's starting to get a little bit more tired. It's not repairing as fast as it once was. It's not recovering as fast as you used to recover, right? The brain, the body, the mind, the spirit, the lungs, the tissue, they're all just starting to express themselves. And you're starting to notice these aches and pains, and you're not recovering as quickly. Maybe you're getting bloated and you're not really figuring it out why. You're just not responding the way that you used to, right? Depression maybe starts to magnify. Your brain fog starts to magnify. Your anxiety starts to magnify, right? Your level of happiness is maybe just starting to decrease, and you're just not as youthful and as spunk as you used to be, right? The body is starting to hold on to stubborn fat now. It's, like I said, starting to slow down. Recovery starts to decrease. Now, disease is now just starting to show its ugly face, right? So disease just starts to begin to show signs of rapid development. What does that mean? It just means that you're starting to go in this direction that you weren't really planning on going. And you see yourself kind of going down in that downward spiral. Maybe you're being medicated for something, and now there's conversations with your doctor for being medicated for something else. Okay, so this is the acceptance phase. Your body is like dealing with the cards that you've been dealt with because of your punishment phase. Now, let's go into the third and final phase, and this is the consequential phase. So what does that mean? Oh, and by the way, obviously, right around here at the end of the acceptance phase is probably a midlife crisis to some degree, right? Oh, I need a new Corvette, or like I need a new home, or maybe there's like a divorce. Something like that often happens in that midlife crisis because you're just like, crap, life has caught up to me and now I need to make an adjustment. And I'll allude into that now. So again, consequential phase, midlife to end of life. And what does that look like? Well, depending on what you did for your first two phases, that is now going to dictate and demonstrate what the rest of that third phase and final phase of your life is going to look like, right? So autoimmune disease is basically imminent. What you've been doing for the first two phases, your disease, it's imminent. If you've got one, you're going to keep on getting it and it's going to keep on expressing itself. You will have degrading health. Premature aging, that's guaranteed. There's no turning back the hands of time if you haven't addressed previously in the acceptance phase, right? So increased risk of early mortality. Slow decline of poor health. Miserable old age home, hospital, staying in a hospital over a long period of time, painful life, painful, slow death. All of that is absolutely guaranteed if you don't do anything, if you don't change course of action during this acceptance phase. And so that's what I'm going to right now with this conversation. We all can have a lot of punishment in this punishment phase. In the acceptance phase, you can turn back everything. You can really reverse all the damage that you've done in the punishment phase. And what does this look like? This looks like in your 20s, maybe even in your 30s or late 30s, you have a wake-up call, right? And you decide, I need to get educated. I need to change what I'm doing. I'm not happy with the results that I've got right now, and I have the foresight and I see the direction that I'm going, and it's not pretty. It looks like shit, really. So with that awareness, you can change course, you can educate yourself, you can change your diet, you can change your lifestyle, you can start to exercise more. You can really start to, and in my case, heal and seal your gut, because that is the fundamental of health. If you've got a poor functioning gut, you will have a poor functioning body and you will have degrading health. If you've got a robust gut, if you've got fantastic digestion, if you've got good nutrient absorption and you've got good eating habits and you've got a good lifestyle, you will have a nice, slow progression of life, as well as a nice, slow sort of decrease in aging. You probably won't die from cardiovascular disease or an autoimmune condition or lupus or Crohn's or diverticulitis or anything like that that just keeps on getting worse and worse, Alzheimer's for that matter, dementia. You're not going to get that. Or at least chances are going to be a lot more minimized if you have a good lifestyle in this acceptance phase. And so that's where I come in. I work with so many people around the world in their 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s that have had that wake-up call, and they're in the middle of this phase where they no longer want to live, or they can see what's going to happen in the consequential phase of their life. So they're really trying to reverse everything. And there's hope at the end of the tunnel. You can totally reverse a lot of the damage that you've done in the punishment phase. So again, that's why I've created my gut rehabilitation program. It's a 6-week course that I hold your hand every step of the way, as well as you watch recorded modules to teach you what's going on with your body, how to reverse various degrees of damage that you've done on your various organs, more focused more so on the gut. And by healing and sealing the gut, you can dramatically improve your health, relieve inflammation, relieve joint pain, decrease inflammation in your brain. You can reverse the damage of an autoimmune condition. And yes, you can even reverse autoimmune diseases, all through a strategic lifestyle, complete overhaul, and it all starts with the gut. So if you like this video, hit a like, hit a subscribe. I appreciate your support. I'm always trying to push out good quality gut-related videos. And if you're interested in working with me, there's a link right down below. You can click on that, register for my free webinar training where you're gonna learn my 5 steps to GFL. That is my whole protocol. And if you like what you see, click the link, hit the register, enroll, and we can get working basically like today or tomorrow. So with all that being said, thanks so much. I appreciate you. Gut Whisperer out.